The accused was forced to plunge his hand into the seething water, retrieving the object as the skin blistered and peeled away. Bandages were wrapped, sealed by the priest's blessing. Days later, the wounds were uncovered. If the flesh festered, it was guilt. If it healed, it was innocence. The truth was that both led to suffering. Some were made to walk across red-hot plowshares, their bare feet sizzling upon the iron. Others were forced to swallow holy bread and cheese, believed to choke the guilty as God's hand tightened their throat. Still others faced the single combat of trial by battle, where guilt or innocence was decided not by truth, but by the strength of an arm, the sharpness of a sword. The rituals were wrapped in prayer. Priests sprinkled holy water, chanted psalms, and declared that heaven watched. But all who witnessed knew that it was not God's judgment at work. It was chance, cruelty, and human hunger for blood. I remember the tale of a woman accused of witchcraft. She was dragged to the river, bound and weeping, her children screaming as the priest intoned his blessing. They cast her into the water. She floated, thrashing, the ropes biting into her skin. The crowd jeered, "Guilty." They dragged her from the river only to string her from the gallows. Had she sunk, she would have drowned, her innocence found only in death. Another man, accused of theft, was forced to grip the hot iron. His flesh sizzled, the stench rising as he staggered across the stones. Days later, when his hand blackened and rotted, the priest declared him guilty. They hanged him by the roadside, his body swaying as carrion birds circled overhead. This was justice in the age of faith, a justice that did not heal but burned, a justice that drowned, that choked, that tore men limb from limb, a justice where innocence was as deadly as guilt. And yet the people believed. They whispered that God's eye was in the fire, that his will was in the river's depths. They knelt and prayed as loved ones were destroyed, convinced that truth had been served. For to doubt the ordeal was to doubt the church itself, and such doubt was heresy. In time, the ordeals faded. Kings and councils decreed them barbarous. Priests grew uneasy, and the fires burned less often.